Today, we are going to talk about the Kremna prophecies. There are many different kinds of prophecies in the world. Why are we focusing on the Kremna prophecies? Because this prophecy predicted 4 types of events. These include the First World War, the Second World War, the future life after the Second World War, the Third World War. And among these prophecies, the First World War and the Second World War both came true. As for the future life after the Second World War, only some of the more fantastical parts have not yet been explained. But the rest of the prophecies came true. This includes the prophecy of the invention of television and computers. In the country of Serbia, the Kremna prophecies are as well known as the Bible. Now, let's officially begin. Kremna is a small village in Serbia. It's a very small place. But it was in this small village that 2 legendary figures were born in the 19th century. One was named Miloš Terabic. The other was named Mitar Terabic. They were uncle and nephew. The person in the photo is the nephew, Mitar Terabic. He was born in 1829 and died in 1899. His uncle, Miloš Terabic, died in 1854. Nikola Tesla was also Serbian, born in 1856 and died in 1943. If we calculate, one of these men is from the generation before Tesla, and the other is from Tesla's father's generation. Unlike Tesla, who was highly educated, the Terabic uncle and nephew were illiterate. They were, as we would say, uneducated, but they possessed a special ability. This ability was known as clairvoyance. They could see into the future. They could also see things far away. At first, people didn't know why. Later, Einstein proved this phenomenon. It was related to Einstein's theory of special relativity. He showed that time and space are connected. If you can see far in space, it means you can also see far in time. So, the Terabics could see scenes like visions. After the death of Mitar Terabic's uncle, he felt that if he didn't record the things he saw, they would be meaningless. But since he couldn't read or write, he sought the help of their godfather. So he went to find their godfather, a priest named Taha Risic. He hoped the priest could help him record the visions he was seeing. Then, the priest began helping the Terabics record these prophecies. The book was gradually written through their conversations until Mitar Terabic's death in 1888. Thus, the book was created. One feature of the book is that it is written as if the priest is saying, "I only speak for Mitar Terabic, and we only speak for the Serbs or mankind." The book contains 34 prophecies about the future. We won't introduce them all here, because some are about internal conflicts in Serbia, which have already been completely verified as correct. We will focus on a few more famous prophecies. The first prophecy describes the Second World War. The original text of the prophecy is, "At the start of the Second World War, Russia will not start the war. But when attacked by evil forces, they will fight back. On the Russian throne, there will be a Red Tsar." The historical fact is that when Nazi Germany started the Second World War, the Soviet Union, now Russia, initially remained neutral. On June 22, 1941, more than 3 million German troops invaded the Soviet Union. Under the leadership of Communist leader Joseph Stalin, the Soviet Union fought back. What's most surprising about this prophecy is that Mitar Terabic died in 1899. He didn't live through either World War, But he described the scenes of the Second World War, and his prediction was extremely accurate. This is the truly miraculous part of his story. From the beginning of the prophecies to the very end, the predictions about world wars are very accurate. He also predicted the time of the Third World War. And he predicted that there would be only one place where one could escape the Third World War. We will talk about that in a moment. Now, let's discuss the second prophecy. He said that with the growth of human knowledge, people's concern and love for each other will diminish. What follows will be mutual hatred. People will no longer trust those around them, and will be more inclined to trust various small devices. Just think about it. Why would he mention small devices? In the future he saw there were many things he didn't recognize. We can make a bold guess. The small device he mentioned is most likely the mobile phone. He didn't just predict phones, but also the existence of movies. He said that in our country, peace and prosperity will last for a long time. Many generations will live in times of peace. They will only know about war through books, writing, and various illusions. What could illusions mean? Given today's technology, these illusions are likely to refer to movies. Another prophecy goes like this. Our kingdom will be powerful, loved and respected by everyone. When people want to eat, they will only eat white bread and whole wheat bread. Everyone will ride horse-drawn carriages without cows, wandering around. People will travel in the sky, overlooking our land. It will be like climbing the Twin Terror Mountain. Carriages without cows to pull them. This should be a prediction of air travel, referring to airplanes. Cars appeared in Germany in 1886. When he was still alive, he might have known about them. But the possibility was low, because Serbia is about 1,000 kilometers away from Germany, a distance that was very far in those times. Moreover, airplanes were invented in the 20th century. And in his time, there were definitely no airplanes. So, the airplane prediction was accurate. He also predicted the invention of television. The original prophecy said that humans would build a box containing some device with images, but they would not be able to communicate with me, who has passed away. Although this image device is as close to another world as the hair on a human scalp. With the help of this image device, humans will be able to see everything happening all over the world. Let's analyze this passage carefully. It's actually quite strange. First, he says that the box humans build can display images. This prophecy is most likely referring to television, but he says that in the future, if people want to use this box to communicate with me, it will be impossible. But the box is extremely close to another world. We can suspect that the other world refers to the afterlife. Moreover, television might be one of the tools that connects this world with the afterlife. Let's think more deeply. The other world might actually be a world of signals. Television can receive signals, but it has certain limitations. It cannot receive signals from the other world. That's why it cannot contact the other world. Then, he also mentioned the energy problem. The prophecy said that people would drill deep underground and dig up gold. This would bring them light, speed, and power. But the earth would shed tears of sorrow, because its surface would have far more golden light than what is inside. The earth would suffer from these unhealed wounds. People will no longer work in the fields. but instead will dig everywhere, in both the right and wrong places. But the true power will be right beside them. They will not be told. Only after many summers will people remember this true power. Then they will realize how foolish it is to dig all these holes. This power will also exist within people, but it will take them a long time to discover and use it. Thus, humans will live for a very long time, but they will not know themselves. Many learned people will believe through their books that they know everything, that they are omnipotent. They will become a huge obstacle to achieving this goal. But once people gain this knowledge, they will understand what kind of illusion it is when they listen to the learned people's opinions. When this happens, people will deeply regret not discovering it earlier, because this knowledge is very simple. Now, let's analyze the meaning of this passage. First, oil is also known as black gold. Searching for other life. It is the power source for automobiles, generators, airplanes, and other machines. So, the gold mentioned in the prophecy, dug deep underground, should refer to oil. And the earth's sorrowful tears should refer to oil, which, when burned, produces carbon dioxide, emitting excessive amounts, which causes the greenhouse effect. This increases global temperatures and affects life on Earth. The energy on the surface should refer to water, because it later mentions that such energy also exists in the human body. As for how to use it, we need to continue exploring. Tarabic also mentioned aliens in the prophecy. He said that humans in the future will travel to the moon and other planets, driving machines, to search for other life, but they will not find life similar to ours. Life will exist, but they will not understand it, nor will they be able to see it as life. That is to say, we see the planets as barren, and think there is no life there. In fact, life exists, but it is beyond our understanding. This may be referring to the concept of accumulated life forms proposed by scientists. On Earth, we are carbon-based life forms based on carbon elements. We absorb carbohydrates and then excrete them, forming a cycle. The drawback is that our lifespan is limited, because our unstable nature prevents us from adapting to extreme environments. Accumulated life forms, however, do not have such a limitation. They inherently possess superstability. So, if we redefine life, we will understand accumulated life forms. He also predicted the Third World War. Although he didn't specify exactly when the Third World War would occur, he gave an approximate time frame. It will likely be between 2050 and 2100. In the Third World War, those who start the war will be scientists who invent all sorts of strange bombs. When these bombs explode, they will not kill people. Instead, they will secretly cast a spell on all the living people. The spell will make them fall asleep rather than fight. Afterward, they will regain their sanity. This description sounds more like nuclear bombs. After all, the power of a nuclear bomb isn't in its explosion, but in the radioactive fallout it leaves behind. Moreover, one nuclear bomb could cause the entire world's population to regain their sanity. Please follow Aming.